this is going to be step 14. This is the second video on how to build an armature, and this is going to show you where to start with your pieces. So at Northview, you and your partner will most likely only be allowed one piece of chipboard if you want to use chipboard. Chipboard works very nicely for things that need to bend easily. Otherwise, you will have endless amounts of cardboard for you to use. So the very first thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that you are always looking at your drawing 14 step here at the bottom of your page to make sure that you know which pieces you need to cut out of cardboard or your chipboard. So I am going to look at my first measurement, which is going to be the bottom of my sculpture. I like to start with the bottom. You might want to start somewhere else. I am going to need to measure 28.5 inches by 11 inches for a rectangle. So I'm going to start with my ruler, and I'm going to measure at 28.5, and I'm going to do this with Sharpie so that you can see it. Then I want to make another mark at the top at 28.5 so that I can connect those two lines together. So you always want to have two different lines so that you get a straight line. And then my line needs to be 11 inches tall. So I'm going to make a little mark here. And then again, you always need to make another mark on the other side so that you have two lines to connect together. Oops. If you make a mistake, just redraw the line to make sure that it's nice and straight. And then what I like to do is I like to write the measurements that I just measured right on my piece so that I can keep track of exactly how many inches I just measured. And then you are going to want to make sure that you are measuring extremely precisely. So if you ever need to, if you're measuring something that you're not too sure about, make sure you double measure it to make sure that it's the right size. So then for my second piece that I'm going to measure out, you always want to measure right on the edge of your chipboard to make sure that you are using as much chipboard as possible so you're not wasting anything. So for my next piece here, I am going to measure it right along my bottom edge of the line that I had already drawn. So my next piece needs to be, again, 28.5 inches. So it's already measured down there, so I'm going to move it up and measure it up at the top at 28.5. So you're always having two marks to line up to measure. And then my other side needs to be 13 3/4 tall. So I'm going to measure 13 3/4, which was almost exactly. Then I need to have my other measurement on the other side, 13 3/4. And then I'm going to connect those two lines so that I have my next piece right next to the other one that I just made, so that I have less cutting to do and I am saving the most amount of chipboard that I possibly need to.